All right, peep game. The sun is in Cancer. The moon is in Gemini. This is a transcendence of your understanding of thoughts that influence the beliefs of who you feel you are. This balsamic phase is having you surrender to what you truly understand around everything you feel about yourself, which has been revealed through the consequence of synchronizing your spirit and body. Given that your body picks up senses physically, this as a physical circuit board enables the voltage of your spirit to enhance its extra senses. Senses that you may not physically pick up, given that they occur or vibrate faster than your critical brain can process, but you still pick up through feelings. Cancer. Here's the deal about this transit. A very malicious frame game is being played, given that you are, with this 330-degree angle to 0-degree angle coming into the new moon conjunction in Cancer, is having you not only surrender unconscious beliefs through these thoughts, as well as self-doubt that can arise, given that you're getting ready to activate a new direction and power of understanding who you are than ever. You may be tempted to give in to thoughts that are not really yours. And this will be evidenced by Neptune and Saturn that's making its square to the moon in Gemini, which will be 90 degrees from these planets. Mind you, a week ago in Pisces, they had activated the 0-degree conjunction and helped you understand how to organize with Saturn and transcend with Neptune your beliefs around what you feel, what you are able to perceive through your imagination, and how that changes the belief around what you feel is now being supported by the thought process with which will completely make obsolete how you used to feel. As we're stepping forward with a new feeling and understanding of ourselves over the next couple of days during the new moon. Listening comes first, then understanding. That means Gemini comes before Cancer. You listen first at Gemini, then you understand later, where you can reflect emotionally. And emotionally doesn't really have to do as much with being over emotional or feeling too much, as Libra squared to Cancer speaks towards balance so that we don't delve too much into irrationality. I'm saying this because given the perceptual nature of these mutable signs, the square to Pisces represents your receptivity to individual thoughts clashing with the collective narrative of beliefs. Pisces, beliefs, collective beliefs, Gemini, individual thoughts. So what does this mean in a way? In a sense, like I said before, this is a malicious frame game. If I want to manipulate you and change the way you feel about yourself, I'm going to set a frame. A frame is a state that you reaffirm or you maintain mentally. So I can have the frame that, I'm in a good mood. That's my frame of mind. If I want to manipulate you and I set false presuppositions, a presupposition is what you presuppose about a situation. So if I presuppose that you're having a bad day because you broke up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, but you never really had any issues with your girlfriend or boyfriend, that's a false presupposition, because I'm really speaking of what I'm saying based on, certain facts that aren't really real, or suppositions that aren't really real. So if I want to manipulate you And I set a false presupposition that, you've just been in a horrible mood. You're very difficult to work with. And now let me tie rhetoric into this. And that's why, we're having issues and problems. I'm attempting to switch your frame. I'm attempting to peer inside your psychology and set the frame of how you feel based on whatever observations I've made. And you might not even be feeling that. You might actually be having a great day. This is where, if you allow the collective unconscious to interfere with your own individual receptivity and reflection, you can allow yourself to play into frames that don't apply to you. So if I speak on, of course, you having a bad day, and you're not even having a bad day, and you respond to me as if you're silently implying that frame is real, then you're taking part in something that has nothing to do with you. And this is what's going to enable you, through the mutable duality of Gemini, to understand what thoughts really reflect you and what really reflect the poisoning of the well, trying to, once again, change your frame. Weak and desperate people do this when they don't really have anything logical or truthful to stand on, and especially when emotions allow others to project their insecurities in an effort to maintain their frame of limited thinking and belief systems. Belief systems which, for all accounts and purposes, are BS, bullshit, at least if not integrated with truth. So, this is going to be a very slept on transit, and you want to be mindful of those who are sincerely telling a lie, because they may not be aware that they're lying to themselves. 330 to 360 degree angles or 12th house angles represent one's unconsciousness, and that's why it's opposite the 6th house, or 150 degrees to 180 degrees of lifestyle and behavior, because this is completed by beliefs that now align with this. And as we are transcending old methods of thought, you're going to be experiencing how much you've evolved your mindset previously over the past month. I was going to say year, but that too. This is allowing you, in light of recent expansion with Jupiter, to now expand over the rest of the year how much more receptive to the truth you are. So last year and the beginning of this year, every time the moon was in Taurus and it went over Jupiter in Taurus, we were expanding the natural quality of how receptive we are to sensing physically. And now that we've strengthened this, Jupiter in Gemini every 28 days will be expanding how receptive we are to the truth and the way we process thoughts with our brains, as well as the expansion of this perception. So the moon is understanding how much more, as this will happen at increasing degrees, you're doing this. And now, unlike last Cancer season where we didn't have a balsamic phase with Jupiter, this is going to really exaggerate a whole lot of how much you have grown, and it won't really be fully evident until the new moon and after that. So be willing to, in this dark hour, maintain everything that you have learned and been trained as we still kick off chapter 3, because a whole lot of this transit is geared towards putting you in a position to reflect and review, as we complete this cycle and initiate a new one, how exactly it is the thoughts you've activated through the new moon in Gemini have appropriately shifted the direction you're beginning to take your character coming into this new moon in Cancer, which is going to activate new psychic power. The reason why this is also going to be an important transit, albeit somewhat slept on, is you're coming into a direct personal experience of the effect of your words on your emotional body, and how you're able to now produce the force that comes from that with whatever energy you could charge through Leo. And when we kind of revisit the moon square to Pisces, this is really going to make sure now this understanding of how your thoughts have evolved align appropriately with the integrity of your beliefs, so that you can sow these new seeds with the Cancer moon, new moon, properly in a way that aligns these beliefs with the new direction you're ready to feel in. The moon that's going to be sextiling the North Node and Chiron also put words to what you've been feeling you are meant to do and what direction you're meant to go in the establishment of your identity. And this is really going to also provide an understanding of perspective, so that relative to this new information you're coming into, this completely changes and transcends in every way how you feel about yourself. And it's only going to feel bad or be negative if you are in denial about what truths are coming up for you to address. There's a resistance to change that will only F you in the B. That will only really be more frustrating, is what I said or meant to say. And it's definitely going to also challenge how well you're willing to accept this necessary change. Versus those of you who have maintained and reinforced beliefs of integrity, this is going to now complete this sense of understanding, in that you will be experiencing all through this transit the full, what's the word? Not manifestation, not completion, fulfillment of what you've been intending, what you've done, how you've integrated these actions, and now how you've harvested the results of such. This is the final reflection post-harvest to now prepare for the next harvest through the planting of seeds. And a whole lot of how it is you move forward with these realizations will prepare to now apply this change of thought process so much more powerfully with greater sincerity and conviction. And you're going to understand at a higher level the truth around not only your individual psychic power and true understanding of, who you are, but how to apply it moving forward. Okay, Mercury is opposing Pluto in Aquarius. So now as Mercury goes into Leo, you get to talk smack, but with more swag. So we put the juice on it. Now we're taking the juice and we're taking it on stage. And opposite Pluto, it's quite literally saying, who wants some? And this is going to be very intense, especially given that the opposition of Pluto brings this extremeness of awakening of corruption in humanity that challenges you to maintain said conviction in the face of others who may even want you dead, or on the flip side, extremely connect with you on a deeper, intimate level. As Pluto in and of itself isn't bad, it's just going to represent extremities for better or for worse. Hence the need to now not only complete that, but Mercury initially conjuncted Pluto on the other side of the zodiac. So now Mercury is making a 180-degree harvest, where now at a brain processing level, you are harvesting the supernatural power and energy with which you will begin to harvest by expressing socially. And as you're transcending how you feel about yourself, this is going to reflect very powerfully on how much more stronger and bolder you're communicating. Sun roar! Don't hold your tongue and speak the truth that is speaking to you. Don't give into these frame games. Allow people to play these games, but you don't have to play with them because it's beneath you. And maintain your frame. Whatever you believe about yourself to be true, the Saturn square will test to see if it's aligned with beliefs in integrity. And this will really prepare you for the new moon. We're clearing the field and we're getting ready to plant new seeds in this next moon phase. So use this time to reflect. It's a really great period to overload on and repeat these affirmations. Once again, I am limitless. I have an unlimited amount of anything, and everything in my life is perfect. All right, that's the power we got. You stay blessed as always. Peace.